The ROG Strix XG27ACMES is a mainstream 27-inch 1440p IPS panel, succeeding the XG27ACS. It offers a maximum refresh rate of up to 255Hz. It mainly competes with the Gigabyte M27QX and the MSI G274QPX. It supports AMD FreeSync Premium and is G-Sync compatible. The monitor claims 97% DCI-P3 coverage, that's 133% sRGB coverage, and it comes factory calibrated. I personally bought it for 25,600 Indian rupees after shipping and taxes, roughly translating to 275 US dollars. It is currently one of the cheapest panels that offers 240Hz or above refresh rate. And according to my research, Asus has also fixed the matte coating issue that was present in the XG27 ACS. The matte coating is no longer overly aggressive. Now, coming to the specs, the monitor supports HDR10, comes with a VESA Display HDR 400 specification, meaning it supports a peak brightness level of 400 nits. Though my unit in particular lands at around 650 nits of peak brightness during HDR after calibration. Now, comparing it to the XG27 ACS, Asus has upgraded the included stand to a metal stand. The XG27 ACS came with a plastic stand. The stand also comes with a hole for cable management. It also supports 100 by 100mm VESA wall mounts. For connectivity, the monitor has an aux out, DisplayPort 1.4 with HBR3, an HDMI 2.1 port, and a USB-C port that supports DisplayPort Alt mode, and 15-watt power delivery. All of the input ports support the full 10-bit color depth and 255Hz refresh rate. Coming on to the backlight bleed test. SDR seems to have more backlight bleed when I captured it via my phone camera compared to HDR mode. Personally, I couldn't notice any backlight bleed on this panel in both modes. Also, in some games, the backlight tends to turn off on the black parts. And I found that surprising considering this is an edge-lit panel. I'll be showing you the translated charts from GTID's YouTube channel, which I have linked in the description. And as much as I could infer from the charts, it's a really good panel with pretty accurate colors. They also have a calibrated ICC profile that I'll be linking in the description. And his recommended mode for the best color reproduction is the Display P3 mode with his calibrated ICC profile. The pixel response times are pretty good. I couldn't notice any ghosting in gaming. And if you want in-depth charts, you can use the link in the description that will redirect you to GTID's original video with the timestamp. For those of you that are just interested in knowing the response time, the panel sits between 6 and 6.5 milliseconds gray to gray response times with only about 10% pixel overshoot. Coming on to the issues. The panel has a pretty thick polarization layer, which makes the edge pixels disappear at some angles. It is noticeable in normal use, but not as much that I'd not recommend buying this panel. Other than that, the only complaint I have from this panel is the measly 15 watts of power delivery from the USB-C port. I would have liked it to be at least 65 watts to support most modern Windows laptops. Now, is the XG27 ACMES worth the price it retails at? Absolutely. It is a fantastic panel that comes factory calibrated, offers one of the highest contrast ratios for an IPS panel, and supports high refresh rate. One thing I'd recommend is not to go for the MSI G274QPX. Even though that does not have the same polarization issue that this panel has and has a really good USB power delivery wattage, mine got horizontal lines after just 8 months of usage. The issue seems to be pretty common. The Gigabyte M27QX is a solid choice that has KVM support, but it is also about 60 US dollars more expensive in my country, which in my opinion does not seem to be worth the money. I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching.